Hey guys, Rachel CPR here. This is just a little update on what's happening with us with our homeschooling journey. Today is actually day 124. I can't believe we've been homeschooling for 124 days. It's been working out really well. We have done a lot of changes. We've changed our classroom. We've changed the location of it. And we have changed a little bit with our curriculum because we had quite a few things that we finished, and so we had to start new things for the second half of the year. We've adjusted a lot in our home life. That I guess that leads to more of why I was going to do this video. I get asked all the time if homeschooling changes your life a lot, and yes, it does. It changes your life dramatically. It's not to say that you are not doing things that you have always done for your children. Something that I learned when we decided that we were going to consider homeschooling, we went to the library and borrowed a bunch of books, and we read different books, and most of the books said one thing that stood out to me was that more than likely you are already homeschooling, and that is true. When my children got home from school, we sat with them, we reinforced whatever they learned in their school day, and we did their homework with them. And in the summertime, they always have a summertime curriculum, so we school all year round. That's what we have always done. So as far as making it something new, the new part was just simply doing that full time, all the time. It's all day long, which for me, I was volunteering at my children's school from the first day that I sent them. So I have always been in their lives when it comes to their schooling. It was just for when I brought my daughter to her kindergarten classroom. My son actually got a seat in the school where she was, an awesome school, but I wasn't ready for him to go. But the only way for them to go to the same school was for him to start in the preschool room. So, yes, that's when it started. But then I started volunteering in the school, and I stayed there for the duration of them being in the school, except for their last year. Because I had my baby who was a little over a year, it was going to be difficult for me to do that at that time. So and then the following year we decided to homeschool. That's this year, this school year. So that being said, yes, it does change things. It's not necessarily, I can't say it's you change for the bad as much as you just find different things that you have to pay attention to. Like for me and my mental sanity, I have to make sure that every single day I get up, I get dressed, I put on an outfit that makes me feel like I'm going to work for the day. And my hair is pretty much always the same, but I make sure that it is cleaned and I put on a little bit of makeup, do whatever is going to make me feel as if I'm going to work for the day. And I do find that I am more productive when I do this for my day. I think that I'm more effective with my children when I present myself in this way, not in a way of just getting up, being in my pajamas. I think that that is something that I would love to work in my home, but it doesn't work for us. When my children come to class and they have on their pajamas and sometimes they're just not feeling so hot and they are allowed to wear their pajamas. But the reality is when they come to school and they have on pajamas, they're not as productive because they did not start off in the homeschool arena. They started off in the public school arena. And so that does change things. With my older two, they were in the public school system. My youngest, he was never exposed to that, and so his view on learning at home is just what he knows. This is where I come to learn. This is where I am, where I'm learning. Whereas for my older children, the home was more of their comfort, their sanctuary. Not that it's not that right now, but it is also their school now. Whereas before, their school was a place where they had to put a guard up. Not because everything in school is bad. I don't believe that at all, as much as you deal with so many different personalities, so many different values that people have, so many different things that children are exposed to, that you have to have a measure of a guard up just for you to make it through your day and just to be okay. And I think that that's something that's just understood when you go to school. There's a measure of your guard that you have to have up that they no longer need. And that changes them mentally, and you have to adjust with them. And it doesn't all happen at once. So whereas my son was in a classroom with 27 children with one adult, it only took one child a couple of seconds to decide, I don't want to do this, so I'm going to make some kind of a ruckus in the classroom, and then everything is going to come to a screeching halt. That happening throughout an entire year is going to make it so that even the children who are doing their work, they actually get to a point where they wait for those breaks at times. My son did anyway. I won't say that every child does, but my son did. And so now when there's ever a little distraction in the classroom, it's very easy for his attention to be drawn away from his work. And so he'll just start looking around and finding something to play with instead of continuing to work. Whereas my daughter, on the other hand, she was in the classroom with almost no distractions because her teacher had everything so that it was just the distractions were just kept down, way down. And so when a distraction happens for her, she's inquiring, like, what's going on? And so in that sense, she still gets distracted. And that is something that we have to push through in our classroom. And we have been doing a much better job with that since I changed the classroom around. And I will do an updated classroom tour. In the beginning, we were in a classroom where we were all learning in the one space, which I thought was actually the right thing at that stage because it was the first time that they were being homeschooled. I felt they needed to be in that classroom setting that they were used to. But right now, at this stage, my daughter, who is learning algebra, needs to have space to have quiet where she can actually dive into what she's learning. Whereas my third grader, he wants a little bit more time to read out loud. He wants more time to be able to make a little bit of noise with his manipulatives, and he needs to be able to do that. Whereas my preschooler definitely needs room to make noise, and so we separated them a little bit. They are not completely separated. They still have the classroom, but then they have a space where they can go and be in the 5th grade, the 3rd grade, and the preschool grade, and still learn the way they should be learning on their level. That has been a major change. We are doing a lot more classroom time together because that has been something that has been very effective. I'm giving them opportunities to learn with each other and to help each other out a lot more now, and that has been extremely effective because they encourage each other so much that way. And I think it's also a good thing as far as feeling a measure of responsibility for each other as a family unit. So, again, I will do an updated view of our classroom that we have right now. My big thing when we changed the classroom was that it had to be someplace that was still going to be bright and sunny. And we were able to do that and keep that in their existence, which, again, it's a wonderful thing. But at the same time, like today, or if you know, we are having a lot of snow. We have a snow day. They're looking at the snow. Oh, we shouldn't be going to school. But they've gotten past that. And that being said, we will talk to you again very soon. I will be uploading on a weekly basis now that we've gotten over our hurdle. And I will update you on everything, have all the changes that we're making in our homeschool. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.